ラスチャレンジ挑戦者を求む。
This episode is all about the Lotus Challenge, and the way this is introduced before the opening credits is just so effective because at first it looks like Kyoya's force is just on some kind of training exercise, then it escalates so it looks like maybe it's one of those missions like the mission Ogre was on in episode 9. This could lead you to believe that it's a similar introduction. Kyoya's gonna finish this mission. Alright then, now we got a force battle, so get ready for Kyoya versus...
Time up! Force, Avalon, Lotus Challenge, failed.
The look on Kyoya's face. It's even more effective when it's revealed that this is the 5th time they've tried this challenge. The Lotus Challenge is pretty simple. You have 15 minutes to launch into space and destroy the giant hermit crab, using up to 5 Gunpla.
大型シャトルを使えば5機での出撃は可能だけど、質量が増えて熱圏に到達する時間が遅くなる。
Even with less Gunpla in the faster shuttle, Kyoya's team only had 3 minutes. 3 minutes to get past all these defenses. This is why everybody's talking about the Lotus Challenge. The time constraints, the powerful defenses, the fact that so many people have tried all these different strategies and not even the Gunpla champion can win.
そのクリア報酬はなんと3000万ビルドコイン。3000万？すごい！
The actual number isn't really important because the characters are showing how excited they are about the prize.
しかし、運営でなくダイバー側がそんな額の賞金を出すなんて、そのミッションかなり難易度が高いんじゃないかな。
Back at the Force Nest, Yuki and Koichi explain the Lotus Challenge, as well as the origin of the giant hermit crab.
ラビアンローズ？っていう機動戦士ガンダムダブルゼータに出てきたドッグ缶をフォースネストにして改装したものがロータス要塞なんだ。
Technically, Lavion Rose first appeared in Zeta Gundam, although maybe they're trying to raise awareness for Double Zeta Gundam. It's got more detail in 0083, but the point is, this was a massive structure in the Gundam universe, and the Lotus Force has turned it into this giant crab. Riku's force seems discouraged when they find out how difficult the challenge is, how many people have failed, but it's actually Ayame that comes in to offer some words of encouragement, saying that they should actually try the challenge. And this would be the perfect opportunity to test out the new 00 Sky, as well as test out the improvements Ayame has made to her Gunpla.
各関節を最新の KPS にしてるのか。ノズル系も金属パーツに変わってる。しかも色を塗り替える際に表面処理を一からやり直してエッジを効かせて。
Everything Koichi said keeps Ayame's new Gunpla from being simply cosmetic. She probably didn't have time to do these improvements before because of all the mass diver shenanigans. We get a decent montage of Riku and his force preparing for the Lotus Challenge, and it's not just planning and working on Gunpla. We actually have this bit of physical fitness training, which is going to pay off later. But for now, the plan is 3 Gunpla are going to attack the fortress in a shuttle.
3, 2, 1.
テイクオフ。
The shuttle rockets off into space, and while this is happening, Rommel and Kyoya notice that, hey, it's moving faster than expected.
隊長、ビルドダイバーズのチャレンジ開始から間もなく8分です。あと3分ほどで。
いや、もう来ている。
Here's where the episode gets interesting.
GBN で供給されているデータシャトルではなく、
自作したというのか。あれほどの大きさのものを。
Koichi is the only person who built his own shuttle. This is the only team that tried this. Now we have a new layer added to the Lotus Challenge, the fact that nobody else has tried this. And why would you? Why would you put the time and effort into building something like this when GBN already has a transport infrastructure? Kyoya's strategy was based on the idea that he and his lieutenants all have high-speed transforming mobile suits, so they have the speed and skill needed to get past the minefield and all the other challenges and destroy the fortress in less than 3 minutes. Showing Kyoya's attempt at the beginning, showing how he had to deal with things like the minefield, adds to the significance of what Riku's force is actually accomplishing.
なるほど。我々とは違うやり方で。
The missile pods have continuity again! Back on topic, everybody is playing to their strengths. Ayame and Riku are charging in for the attack, Yuki's providing support fire, Koichi built the shuttle,
足止めされてる。ロー
そう言われてもリク君たちに頑張ってもらうしか。
もうそんなこと言ってる場合じゃないでしょ。
ちょっと
And Momo decides to crash the shuttle into the enemy mobile suit to save IMA. This is possibly a reference to the original Gundam, with one key difference. Momo and Koichi have character shields. That's the only explanation for why, even if you accept that Yuki was able to save them, the shuttle has no damage even after crashing into a mobile suit. The enemies are color-coded, which makes analyzing this fight so much easier. The Blackfish just flies around to show how much more maneuverable the 00 Sky is. Then after taking a hit, the pilot is surprised by IMA's transformation. And he's defeated by Ninja SD Gundam shenanigans, which IMA can get away with because SD Gundams. The Redfish seems more powerful since it's able to block a shuriken with its back, and it's able to take multiple beam hits, and it seems fine later. Just to make sure you understand this fight is not supposed to be taken seriously, we have a fish sword fighting with its tail. The Force Leader is pretty good with that trident. I'll slow down the clip so you can see the weight of the impact. And the Redfish is destroyed by comedy relief. This is a red amphibious mobile suit, so you could call this GM's Revenge. The Force Leader is using pretty much a stock Mermaid Gundam, and while he doesn't use the power attack for the trident, he has put a wire on the end of it, and he's using it as a ranged weapon. Riku's fight with the Force Leader looks a bit better if you actually see the whole fight. The important thing, though, is that the real enemy is the giant crab. So Riku throws the trident, destroying the mega cannon, and then he shoots and takes out the eye field, at which point everybody just starts shooting at the thing. Riku's force manages to do significant damage, however... Riku's force charges in for the attack, the defenses activate, and something unexpected happens. Soccer is now relevant to the show. Soccer could have just been a way to show that physical fitness is important, but Riku's soccer abilities are actually how he was able to destroy the fortress. Here's where I'm going to add the last layer of complexity to the Lotus Challenge. These are other players. They're going to learn from their mistakes. They're going to remember things like IMA's Gunpla can transform. This is all handled without any clunky exposition. Nobody comes out and says, the challenge is getting more difficult because the Lotus Force is gaining more experience. Alright, that's enough analysis. Let's win this thing! This episode had a fairly predictable premise. As soon as other characters are talking about the Lotus Challenge, it's pretty obvious Riku's going to succeed. Elements like Koichi building his own shuttle and Riku's soccer skills being relevant to their success keep the episode interesting. There are some minor complaints with this episode, like how they shout, fire the first arrow, second arrow, third arrow, but then you balance that with things like IMA's Gunpla takes its mask off when it transforms, and then IMA has her mask on during the battle, she takes it off at the end. Little details like that make this an episode that makes the most of its simple premise. Riku's force seems to be enjoying their victory, but just remember, in GBN, Bird watches you! This is the Hypervisor signing off.